Man, we are going all gangster with those intros today.
Yeah.
Top right now, we have currently our player down a map in this best of 3. It is the Zerg starting for LGIM. It is...
LGIM Loshira.
A little bit late on that Overlord production.
Yep, for a second I really thought that he would start with the early pool here, but no, he didn't. He was just waiting for the 100 minerals. I think he made a slight mistake when he split his drones early and started mining. Bottom left starts his opponent with a lead in the best of 3. Took the first game, cross-positioned to Lucira. Starts the Tyrant. Starting for EG, we have...
EGJD Lady Core.
Gets his lady call here at the GSL.
Yeah. There he is, up in the Series 1, game away from hitting that very important 3rd round of Code A, where you might be able to jump into Code S.
You can actually hear the lady call every single time he gets introduced.
Yeah, certainly can.
If you listen closely.
Very closely.
Interesting opening for Lucira. Doesn't start with his hatch first in a map like this, but instead goes into pool.
He's behind, and I feel him on that, because it's hard to scout on this map. What if he scouts wrong and Jaedong scouts right and goes for an early pool, and then Lucira doesn't cancel in time, doesn't get his pool up in time, and then just dies to an early pool?
To be honest with you, I actually could see him go for a bit more of an aggressive play here because of it.
It's also very possible, you're so right. Here
the
comes
gas first also for Jaedong. And the pool a lot later for JD.
Yeah. This is interesting that we have a hatch, or rather a pool first for Lucira on this map. I mean, I get it, it's safer, you're down a game in ZVZ.
But on a map like this, usually most players
you can just
really,
cut
really
that
start
out. You're
with
like,
an early hatch.
You can go, hey, you know, that's very unlikely, it's possible, but I mean, it's so unlikely that I'm just going to take the chance. Most people would just reason that.
This map is just huge. But well, let's see how this works. Jaedong, it worked well for him in the last game to start with this early gas, get the speed this fast, and then go for the attack. We might see the same thing once again. And Lucira won't be aggressive here. He didn't get gas just yet. There's just no way.
No way. No way, no how. Just like when Dorothy went to the Emerald City and talked to the doorman. Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically.
That's exactly how it is.
There's no ruby slippers, so there's no baneling nest without gas. That's how it is, man.
No baneling nest without gas. Unless you play customer.
Even if Lucira were wearing ruby slippers right now and he clicked them together, he just would not be able to make that baneling nest happen. Even if he said there's nothing like a baneling nest, there's nothing like a baneling nest, it just wouldn't appear.
I actually think that Lucira and ruby slippers would look a little bit silly.
Yeah, it would definitely take away from what I was saying earlier. It would have ruined the illusion.
Yeah, but there you got it. The baneling nest is being built for Jaedong, and he's not able to hide it. Lucira already scouted it, so he knows, well, you're going for exactly the same build that you executed in game number 1. And he builds his first Spinecrawler. Is in the know that the Spinecrawler alone is most likely not going to cut it. He gets the second queen and the second wave of queens, number 3 and number 4. He has to block these baneling.
Yeah.
And he has to target them down early.
Absolutely. You know, last game we saw that did not occur. He totally botched his micro there.
He actually had everything in place, and it looked really good.
It was like, oh, there's no way, there's 2 banelings only. If he had 6 banelings, maybe I'd be concerned, and even then it would probably be okay, but only 2 and he lost so many drones. It was really strange.
They just snuck past. Somehow, the Spinecrawler and all the queens completely ignored them, and the 2 banelings were like, yay, we can do it.
Huge drone up, by the way, for Jaedong, and his Zerglings will get into Scout. Oh, not quite able to really see anything, though. He sees the gas.
Yeah, Jaedong, now that his strategy has been revealed, or that his baneling list has been revealed, decided to not go for the aggressive banelings, just get 2 of them as a defensive measure, and hopes that Lucira will actually just prepare too much, but he doesn't. Yeah. He goes into 4 gas at a time, and has the Roach one already, takes down all of those Overlords, and that's a heavy loss for Jaedong.
If he loses them, you know, last time he almost killed the Overlords, but didn't do it. I think he's going to get both of them this time, though. They didn't get pulled away fast enough.
He's going to get them. And therefore, suddenly, Jaedong heavily supply blocked. He didn't only lose 1, he lost 2, and that's always annoying.
Yeah, that's very annoying. Something to mention about Lucira is that he's about 200 gas in total behind his opponent. He didn't get speed, and he also doesn't have his layer up yet. So right now, if you look at the resource tab, they have the same, but that's considering that Jaedong already purchased both of those upgrades. Now Lucira starts his metabolic boost. And again, we have missile upgrades versus double upgrades, but Lucira is getting melee upgrades this time.
He's going for the melee upgrades, and the one thing that is really good if you stick with the melee composition is that if you are able to get the upgrades in a decent fashion, then you can just produce a lot of Zerglings and you don't have to invest the gas. So you can use the gas for different things. You can invest the gas, first of all, of course, for the upgrades that you will need, but then later on you can go for the high attack. If you decide to go for Mutalisk composition, you have more gas available to build Mutalisk. Same is true, of course, if you try to go into Infestors. But yeah, it's going to be really interesting what he's going to do with all this gas, because he has quite a lot of it.
Yeah, he's got a lot, man, and I think that it only makes sense that we see a infestation pit for Lucira after that layer is done. We can't really do anything else. I mean, that's the only next step that makes sense. He made a ton of lings. He's actually making 22 more. Is he actually just going to hit with a big 1-1 Speedling Baneling timing? What's the lair for then?
Well, if he wants to go for the Baneling speed, that would be one thing.
Yeah, I guess that's possible.
Yeah, we have our first battle, and that's not a battle that Jadon can win.
Nope. Even though he had speed, you know, both these units have the same stats.
Yeah, exactly. And if you have speed, you can run away. If your opponent doesn't, but more than that, it didn't really work. Here comes the Infestation Pit for Lucira. So he gets the Infestation Pit after all. There's the cancel for Jadong.
Really well done, and he actually hides the drone so you can actually just remake it. But Lucira is going for the attack now. Got to be careful of those Banelings, and he says, no, I need my own Banelings first before I can try this. That same drone from earlier was there, and oh, look at that, a cancel on the Banelings. So Lucira just really reacting to what he's seen here.
Yeah, I really want to see if he starts with a +2/+2 immediately. That would be quite awesome. We have now the third base nearly ready for Lucira, which has been scouted.
And +2 Carabas and +2 for the Lings.
Yeah, you know what? There are a lot of queens on the map that are now just in a position where they can take down these 3 overlords in the middle, right at the edge of the creep. I would love to see Lucira use those queens and take down the overlords for Jadong.
Yeah, I mean, he knows that he's safe to do so because he's got these Lings on the map, so he knows that doing so is not a risk.
Exactly.
And, okay, now he's doing it actually. He's chasing them away. He kills one, and the second one could be chased down and killed as well.
Yeah, the queens were already active. We have a lot of spine crawlers actually built by Lucira. He tries to be super safe here. Yep. And yep, another overlord is being killed here. Really well done.
J-Dog.
That is the second time in the game that he was able to do it, so I really like this.
And this eventually becomes a big problem, especially if he actually kills one of these Overseers or the next Overlord as well.
He could.
Yeah. These Lings are really scary, but just 1 or 2 Banelings are enough to make it so that Lucira can never really commit to his attacks. All he can try to do is outmaneuver his opponent. For example, run in and try to snipe this hatchery now from another angle.
The big problems are the fungals. As soon as those fungals hit, those Banelings won't do anything at all. Sorry, the Zerglings won't do anything at all. So that's going to be a big problem for him here. The +2/+2, of course, is going to come in handy later on, but still, this is a bit of a risky scenario. And actually, just looking at this, I don't think that Lucira has any detection whatsoever nearby his own bases.
I don't think so either. There are some changelings actually going with these just to make sure there's no spore.
The infested Terrans are burrowing their way in there.
He doesn't see it, I don't think.
He doesn't have anything, and this is smart by Jadong taking, I don't want to say a bit of a risk here, but he's just going for taking a chance.
Yeah.
And he sees, okay, it works, you don't have any detection, so that's pretty awesome. That will help him a lot.
I would think he's just going to wait until he sees Lucira move out, and then he's going to use these to attack.
He has them at the natural, he has them in the main base. That's all that he needs. 2 of them. He can either go for the fungals or for the infested Terrans, whatever he decides to do. In the middle of the map, we have now one of those Overseers, 2 of them actually finally dying.
I'm starting to wonder how many Overseers of Jadongs have died, or how many Overlords in total.
I think 6 by now?
Yeah, something like that. He's actually just, it may be intentional, but he likes to have him out in the middle of the map. Oh, a missed fungal on those Lings. That's a lot of energy lost.
Yeah, that was actually really well dodged by Lucira, just moving back in time. But this is still going to be really tricky. He will lose so many Harvesters.
Yeah.
This is going to be really, really annoying for him.
Basically, no matter what, he's going to. I mean, we can actually just say that with certainty because he has nothing to detect them, so how can he avoid this? There's nothing he can do.
It's just about the timing. It's really all about the timing that Jadong is going to use here. And if he goes for double fungals, you know, twice, that will work. There are no units there whatsoever, and he can kill at least 20 Harvesters.
He may realize now He tried to make some tech structures over there, and it didn't work. With one of his drones, he tried it twice, and he might be figuring out, all right, something is over here that does not belong.
And Jaedong actually moved away with those infestors because he saw the drone. That's really cool.
That's insane map awareness what we just saw there. I can't believe he was able to notice that. Lucira finds himself 50 supply down. He's going for Ultralist with 3-3 upgrades. Are going to be quite strong, but this is interesting to me, man. I'm not sure how well this is going to work out on 3-base economy.
The thing is, if you really can hold your bases long enough for that to work, then yes, that's going to be awesome. But you will have a lot for that. You need so much time.
He has so many spine crawlers. This is actually Lucira's style. We've seen him play like this before in the past. He has 19 spine crawlers in total right now.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, this is going to be so dangerous.
Lings at the left, but here come the Infested Terrans in the main base right now. On the other hand, those Zerglings are going to do a lot of damage. Here comes the attack by Jaedong. He moves into the Spine Crawlers at the third, but we have at the natural those Infested Terrans taking everything apart. The same is true for the main base. These guys do so much damage. And here we go again at the third base. Jaedong is just going at it, and Lucira drops down to 100 supply. He has 4 Ultralisks being built, but he lost the Ultralisk cavern.
Yeah, he lost the Ultralisk cavern, and only 4 Ultralisks is nowhere near enough to actually defend this. Jaedong can kite Ultralisk on creep with Roaches of speed.
His natural is gone, his third base is gone. Jaedong is dominating now.
Yeah, he's got more than... Well, he's got nearly twice his opponent's workers, and that's a lot more than what Lucira has, of course. Yeah, Lucira lost his third base, or rather, Lucira killed Jaedong's third base, but he can remake that. And I just don't see Lucira holding on much longer. Yeah, he's going to lose spine crawlers, but those are not going to last forever.
He just doesn't have those tech structures. He knows that with Zerglings alone he can't survive. That's why he builds all these spine crawlers. He wanted to buy time for those Ultralisks, but now the Ultralisk cavern is gone. And here comes the attack. He moves in. He knows about the spine crawlers, but he doesn't care because he says, like, I have way too much for you. The Ultralisks are not even tickled by fungals. Of course, they are massive units here, but they are still get too much damage from the Roaches.
Yeah, way too much, and even the Infested Terrans are ignored. Jaedong is going to push through. The fans are going pretty nuts in here right now. It looks like Jaedong is going to move to round number 3. And, you know, Lucira, he's not wearing Ruby Silvers, but he did show us a build of a different color today.
Sick transfuses here on the Ultralist. Jaedong, this game was won by 4 Infestors for him. 2 in the natural, 2 in the main base. Really, really well done by the EG player.
Yeah, he just waited for the perfect moment, and he seized this opportunity. And Lucira down to 60 supply now is going to be out. He's going to lose his Roach Warren. Not that he's really making Roaches in this game anyways. Infestors are saved with a burrow here. And Lucira, he's going to have to come to terms with it. GG.
There it is. GG and game. Well done by Jaedong. Takes the win with a 2-0 and advances to the 3rd round of Coding.
Yep. Turns out those 60% of people who thought he was going to take this ZBZ
were spot on.
They were spot on, man. He owned. He dominated.
Lucira is looking at this and he looks like he can't believe what just happened.
Yeah, he looks like he doesn't want to look at it.
He must be really disappointed. You know, the problem for him was really not the attack by Jaedong. The problem for him was these 2 Infestors at the main and at the natural that he didn't have a single Overseer anywhere. And even, you mentioned it, he tried to build with a drone something at his natural and he couldn't build it. He just could not because there were still those Infestors. Jaedong moved them away. But this was the point when Lucira should have realized something is wrong here. I didn't really misclick twice on that building.
Yeah.
So
that's really strange that worked out that way. But Lucira showed a really cool build. It just didn't work out because the Infestors just killed everything before he could even really use the economy that that he was building for 3 bases. He was saving a lot of minerals to just dump into Ultras, use the Ultras to control the middle of the map, defend his bases with those spines, then probably take a 4th and go into maybe even a Greater Spire eventually. We've seen this build from him before. We've seen players like Jelizerg do this in the past as well, but it's not your normal ZVZ.
Yeah, so right now we have our first game over already. Jaedong being able to advance to the 3rd round, and we are now just waiting for the 2nd game to start, which is going to be Byung versus Nesty.
Yeah, we've got 3 LGIM players. We've got Lucira, of course, Nesty, and MVP. All 3 of them will be playing tonight. So after we take this quick 5-minute break, Nesty is going to be up against Byung. See you then.